चलिए अब बात करते हैं आपके प्रोफेशनल लाइफ के बारे में, आपके करियर के बारे में. Can you tell me about the nature of work that you did for all this while in CMAP and what was that like?
My job involved basically carrying out research in the biochemical compounds of the medicinal and aromatic plants which have health promoting benefits. तो उसमें जो थी we had to plan systematic research and experimentation to carry out those research, and it involved a little of radioactive chemicals also as 14 carbon. So I had went to training for handling these chemicals at Bhabha Atomic Research Center, and I was permitted to do research only then after I got permit from the BARC authorities. This is the one aspect, and the other aspect was carrying out non-scientific work such as being a member of the purchase committee, being a member of the invitation committee. So certain non-scientific work was also allotted to us, and we had to do it because we are a part of the team. For the invitation work I carried because it involved dealing with calling people and calling them cordially and inviting them and making them feel comfortable. So I think I did this work very nicely, so that I was asked to do it for 15 years or 20 years. But ultimately I said that it should be given to somebody else. Then third major thing was I had the opportunity to work in the purchase of the chemicals, apparatus, equipment. So I had the chance to come in contact with money, but I maintained my integrity in these matters. So I came out clean. Otherwise, there are many people from against whom there were inquiries to be set up. Then there were cultural exchange program, and I went to Poland. Poland at that time was a communist country, and they had food coupons from which you can buy bread, Coca-Cola, meat. Though once a month we were given coupon and we could go out to the designated shop and buy it. But their product was not so hygienic and it was very dried. So I turned vegetarian and I got to cut pre-cut vegetables and some atta and made some roti myself in my hostel, which was given to us with the kitchen, fridge and other amenities. So that was also a good experience.
Tell me, how did you get into this line of work? I know you mentioned about your father also being a PhD and research, but how did you end up in this specific role? What was the driver behind that?
Because I did BSc with botany, zoology, chemistry, and I got good marks in botany, so I could get admission in MSc botany science, botany subject. So botany fascinated me, or rather that was a option which I had very easily obtained. So I got into the science of botany, and as I got an opportunity to get PhD from the International Institute, so that made my candidature more strong, and then I entered into this scientific field. So these situations led to the candidature as being a scientist.
Got it. Over the course of the years that you have worked as a scientist, what were some of the lessons that you think you picked up or life taught you by working on this in this job?
There are few bitter lessons and few good lessons I learned. That don't trust blindly.
Okay.
And use your mind and analyze your relationship with the friends or the colleagues. There were certain good friends and some good friends which gave us good advice. For example, जब मेरा पैर फ्रैक्चर हो गया था तो मेरे को दोस्त ही जो थे घर से ऑफिस ले जाते थे, ऑफिस से घर ले आते थे, हम लोग पूल पार्टी करते थे, तो उसमें जो थे आपस में दोस्ती और बढ़ती थी। तो किसी की प्रॉब्लम होती थी तो वी स्टूड अप देयर एंड हेल्प ईच अदर। तो इस तरह के बहुत से नॉन साइंटिफिक इवेंट्स भी होते थे।
Correct. You spoke about pool parties and friends getting together. Which were some of the other favorite stories from your work life, or things that you used to do regularly throughout your career?
ऐसा तो कोई मेरे को नहीं याद आ रहा कि जो कि हमने
For example, I think you were talking about being punctuality and how you were.
that is that situation I learned from when I was at the Erie, Philippines. My boss was Japanese, and Japanese are very particular about time. So if you say that you will be there at 2 p.m., you have to be there at 2 p.m. Even if you can't make it, you have to be there and say I can't make it. And that thing I maintained when I was in office also. Whether you are going to reach the office or going to leave the office. We had 5-day week, but our work demanded that we should spend at least half a day in the Saturday morning. So we also went there at the Saturday morning. So this pleased our boss that this scientist who has come from abroad, he spends some half day on Saturday also, so he must be really working hard. This.
And if you had to look back at some of the accomplishments or your proudest times during your work life, what would some of
We, as a group or as an individual, we published a lot of research papers in the international journal, impact factor journals, which gave us a credit and led us to the promotion in the scientific field, recognition in the scientific circle in the in the Lucknow, and recognition by the National Academy of Science by inferring me as a member and a fellowship. So these were the things which slowly and slowly came as you improved your scientific publication and research material.
Thanks for sharing. I think now again shifting topics a bit and talking about religion, spirituality a bit. आपने पहले बताया था कि how that was a topic which was close to your heart, and even your father used to discuss that. Can you hear any examples of how your when you saw something that was really extraordinary or an experience that changed your life or really kind of showed you?
There was a time when I was attending a marriage along with my father, and I don't think that you were or Rachit were born at that time. I'm not sure. So anyway, I had to go and pick up some friend from Indranagar. So I took a shortcut. I drove the car and was about to pass the other end of the bridge when I saw a person waving at me और कह रहा था आप कहाँ जा रहे हैं आगे? तो मैंने कहा मैं उधर जा रहा हूँ, ब्रिज क्रॉस कर रहा हूँ, कहीं उधर तो कुछ है नहीं. तो आई वाज शॉक्ड. फिर मैं उतर के देखा, मैंने कहा हाँ वहाँ को वाकई एक साइड का पुल की रोड अप्रोच रोड बन चुकी थी, दूसरे साइड की बिल्कुल नहीं थी, एंड देयर वाज नो बैरियर या कुछ इस तरह का भी इंडिकेटर नहीं था. तो देन आई टर्न बैक एंड आई फाउंड कि वो आदमी चला गया. आई वाज वेरी शॉक्ड, एंड दैट्स इस इंसिडेंट को 40 इयर्स हो चुके हैं एंड इट्स स्टिल लाइव इन माई हेड.
So it's sort of a miracle basically.
हाँ, it's basically a miracle. Somebody saved me from a certain death.
So how has your faith or your belief in either religion or spirituality evolved, either because of examples like this? Yeah, how has that changed over time?
Initially, I was not so religious or not very God-fearing, but with due course of time, जैसे फिलीपींस गया मैं तो एयरप्लेन में तो आई वॉज वेरी जॉली. शिमला गया बच्चों के साथ घूमने तो ट्रेन की ट्रेन जर्नी बड़ी अच्छी लगी. बट विद डिफरेंट एज, with getting old, or with disease, illness, those thoughts have changed. And now I thank God for everything which He has given to me. And I also thank Him that I am in such a position now. I spend, say, daily 10 से 15 minutes in front of the God praying. That gives me a little bit of confidence and I feel comfortable. That's it.
Let's talk more about other experiences, and you spoke about one instance, how that has changed. What were some of the other moments in time when, let's say, you felt the happiest? It could be work-related, it could be family, but what were among your happiest
There were
moments?
several instances in my life. First was the surprise given by my children when I retired in December 2015. And I appreciate the time and effort spent by children in giving me a retirement party. When both of you got good jobs, that was a day for rejoicement. The day of sadness was when I was betrayed by my friends and I got hurt in my leg, had some health issues. And the day of proud, being a proud grandparents of 2 grandchildren. These are the certain instances in my life which I can easily share.
And what have you learned, or what are your important lessons that you have acquired or you would want to share with your family, both good and good experiences and bad experiences? What are the learnings that you would like to share with your family?
There are many lessons one learns in life. That first thing is one tries to be a perfectionist. I will do this thing and I will do this in a very perfect way. So there is nothing like a perfect thing to be done. A perfectness is later on becomes a disease for an individual, because you can't do anything perfect. There has to be some imperfection in trying to be perfect. So don't try to be a perfectionist. Second, don't have blind faith in anybody. Use your mind, analyze it, and then trust somebody.
Okay. Tell me about, if you were to look at a younger version of yourself, let's say 15, 20, 30 years, what advice would you give to yourself that would change your life going ahead?
I wouldn't do the things which I blindly did. I would be more careful in choosing my work-related experiments, which would give me more. I did certain foolish things in those times. I would not do it, knowing very well that these are not paying. They will hurt me.
Okay, let's talk about some, you spoke about grandchildren and that being one of the proudest moments so far in your life. Imagine you had to give them an advice when they were 18 years old. All of your grandchildren across, when they were 18 years old, what advice would you like to give them at that phase of life? When they are just teenagers, they have studied, they are completely...
As a grandparent, I would suggest that they should be good human beings. They should try to respect their elders and listen to their advice. And They should try to make out a balance between professional and a personal life. These are the three main things which as a grandparent I would advise. And to my kids I would say that although they are very mature and have a good understanding of life, they should plan to have something in a post retirement financial security, because as a government servant I have a pension, but you probably don't have. So you need to have, as a parent I am concerned that you should have that.
Understood. And just talking about experiences and your inspirations, outside of your parents and work, who has been a great influence in your life? Like, who have you learned from, or who have you been inspired from?
I would say that I learned from my wife's spouse. The support was very great. Of course, parents were there, but in the last 40 years, the support, care, encouragement from my wife was tremendous, and she has helped me to pass through all the bad stages of life.
Okay, and anyone else apart from, let's say, your wife, or anyone else who had kind of...
I got support from my elder son and Rachit also. They also took care of me, and sometimes they told me things which I didn't like, but they were good for me, and so I accepted it.
You spoke about illness briefly before. So what were the aspects that helped you get through those difficult times? Like, what helped you when you were either not well or got hurt or injured? What really helped you move on or get better?
Of course, there were certain books given by my father. My interaction and discussion with him on the illness, my own thinking and thoughts, my discussion with the wife. These are the 4 or 5 things that led me to pass through the difficult times.
Got it. And coming back to the advice for your kids and grandkids, how do you think you would like to be remembered if they were, let's say, thinking about you 30 years, 40 years from now? What is it that you would like to be remembered as?
I would like to be remembered as a simple, down-to-earth person.
Okay. And what other aspects about your life do you think they should think about when they think about you?
I think maybe they can think of me as a person who was trying to be a perfectionist.
Got it. Understood. Let's talk about a few of your favorites, just shifting gears, and as we move towards the end, just a quick list of some of your favorite things, right? So let's start with your favorite dish. What is it that you really like to eat and can have every day?
I like to cook non-vegetarian dish, and my sons and they also like my cooking very much. And what is the other thing you said?
So saying just in terms of food, which is your favorite dish or something that you either like to make or like to eat?
I would like to chawal dal aloo is my favorite dish, and chicken as a non-veg dish. If primarily, the other things are also there.
Right. Okay.
And in a sweet dish, I would like halwa.
और आपने बताया कि आपने काफ़ी ट्रैवल भी किया था, both as in your professional life and otherwise. Which is your favorite, among your favorite destination that you've been to so far?
The favorite destination is of course home.
But if you had to pick one outside of home?
outside. Any place where you feel homely?
Okay. And in terms of your life today, what is it that how do you spend your time? Because you're retired, you mentioned about that. So what is your favorite time pass, hobby, or things that you like to do in the day, now or in the last few years?
In my during my stay at Lucknow, we have a group activity in which we have senior group members, all 15 to 20 senior group members working and making a walkers group, and we play carom. We move out at different places in Lucknow, have a get together alone or with our families, make out picnic, sometimes travel in the metro. And I have here at Bangalore also joined a group for last 3 months, and reading.
And if you are, which is the thing that you like to do most with your family? So this is more about social. Tell me something that you enjoy doing with your family, whether it's your wife, whether it's your kids, grandkids. What do you like?
I like spending the quality time with my grandchildren, wife, kids. That is, of course, very true. I enjoy it.
What is it about your current grandchildren that the current habits, or about the 2 grandchildren that you have today, which is something that you like the most?
They are just lovely.
Okay, great. So I think we've heard a lot about your life and how it has progressed. Thanks again for taking the time and sharing it. And as I said earlier, maybe today, 5 years later, 10 years later, and when the kids, grandkids also grow up, it will be an asset for them to look back and understand their family.
This is a good thing which you have done.
Yeah, so what would you like to say about the experience of the last 2 hours or 2-3 hours? What do you think about that?
Actually, you have made me realize the life journey which I traveled, which we had never thought of before. कभी हम लोगों ने ऐसा सोचा नहीं था कि हम लोग ने ये काम कर लिए और ये काम कैसे किए, किन किन कठिनाइयों से गुजरे, कौन कौन से खुशी के काम हुए, कौन से दुख के काम हुए. कभी हम लोगों ने उसका बही खाता नहीं बनाया था. We never made a book out of it.
And now that you shared about it, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel that हम लोग कहाँ से कहाँ आ गए, which last 69 years कैसे हम लोगों ने बिता दिए.
चलिए बढ़िया, good. Thanks again. I think.
And I thank you also for giving me a chance to comprehend myself. And best wishes to you, both my sons and daughter-in-law, for your love, respect, and affection.
Thank you, Lord. Thanks again. I think equally glad that we have you as parents, and really, I know that this will be something that will be guiding us for many years from now. So again, thank you for everything.
Good.